Welcome to Candid Conversations with Doc V on the WWW Network, where real talk about real experiences and circumstances is the norm and not the exception, to help you heal, rebuild, and transform your life from the inside out and put you back in business. I'm Doc V, the Pivot Maestro, and your corner woman here to provide truth and transparency in conversation to help you navigate the waters and think without a box. What is my why? You are my why. To create a safe haven for you, to validate you and your experiences as a woman, and to provide hope and freedom in your thinking and being so that you may live the life and lifestyle you were meant to lead. Our topics of conversation run the gamut surrounding women's issues in the workplace, joy, and career transition, always providing revelation, reconciliation, and renaissance, and with one mission in mind, to help you define your path. And one message: you are mission essential, so believe it. Last week, our pivot was to believe, and to start to understand your belief system, if you ever had one. So, this week our pivot is to walk in your freedom. What does it look like when you're walking in your freedom and you're letting freedom ring in your life? See, when you discover the source of your problems, then the process of freedom begins. And we talked about tapping into the source in the last episode, that source that provides the foundation or the basis of your belief, whether it's spiritual, philosophical, or just a code, a moral code. But tapping into that source and using that source as your strength and as the fuel to help you problem solve as you're walking out this life, as you're walking your journey, and to begin the process of freedom. See, it's time to come out of the shadows into life, ladies, right? Let's come out of the shadows into life. Because we were meant to be more, to do more, and to create not only the freedom for ourselves, but for others. So let's start with the basics. Let's start with the basics about freedom. What is freedom to you? And I know that question may seem like I'm slightly daft, but I'm not. There's a method behind all of my madness. What is freedom to you? Think about that question. And if you're taking notes, I want you to write it down, journal it, or journal it later. What is freedom to you? What does freedom look like for you? We all have different types of freedom goals. So what is yours? Think about, what does that freedom look like? Is it financial? Is it starting your own business? Is it, with the whole starting your own business, being your own boss? What is it? Is it to be able to take a vacation, multiple vacations, whenever you'd like to take those vacations? To have control of your own life. Is that enough? To just simply have control, enough wealth, true happiness, or all of the above, where you are the captain of your ship and you may define your own path. Not being put in a box, or the box that we're handed, the metaphorical box that we're handed when we're children, in which people put us on this path, oh, you're good in this, you're good in that, so you should pursue this or you should pursue that. And never the two shall meet. But we just go off on our merry way on this path, to elementary, to our senior years, on to college or university for some, training, vocation schools for others. But we're always put on this path that when you run into that brick wall, or when you have the realization of, Who packed this box? Or who handed me this box? Because I didn't choose it and I didn't put the things in it. You run into that choice, that place where you have to pivot. And the decision to pivot is rooted in your desire for freedom, to pursue freedom. But in order to be able to pivot, to go that other direction, to go around that obstacle, or however you need to get over it, you have to have that belief in yourself and that belief system associated that we talked about last week. So let's look at reality. Is freedom designed for us? Let's talk about that. We might get a little controversial here, but we did say candid conversations, right? Let's look at reality. Is freedom designed for us? And the answer is a resounding no. It was not. Not by man, not by society. The answer is no. Plain and simple. The world we live in today, it dictates the way we survive, the way we are educated, the way we are meant to fill in a gap in society, a cog in the wheel, as my companion likes to say. Society dictates all of that. The world dictates that. We are so socially conditioned that we don't even realize it until something happens in our life. And we have that revelation, that aha moment. And then we have to figure out, okay, what's next? Or am I going to stay in this? Or am I going to see my way out? But then we face the fears. Do you see how it's all tying together? We face the fears. And until we learn how to embrace the fear and make it our ally, because you embrace it, it will become your ally, to help fuel you and get you through those challenges in life, to make those decisions that a lot of us are often paralyzed in making, because we fear a certain something, whether it's how we look to our family or to our friends, or whether or not we can succeed because we have that limiting belief in ourselves that's keeping us from making the decision. That's paralyzing us. And that's keeping us in bondage, in those chains. So you see, freedom is the most difficult conversation to have with anyone, much less people who were historically, chained, who were a part of a culture that, facilitated, that was a part of victims of slavery. Chains are in the mind, because even those who were enslaved, those who managed to survive, those who rebelled and escaped, those who had something greater in them to be free. They knew something better was out there, because what they were presently in was not the answer, was not the way. Regardless of the programming and the conditioning that they were undergoing, they knew it was a better way, because their soul was keeping them restless and not willing to settle. And that spirit in them was speaking to them. See how it's all tying together? Was speaking to them to press on, to stand up, to fight instead of flee. Ladies, think about the application to your life. I know those are some extreme circumstances, but I wanted to take, or extreme examples, but I wanted to take you there. I wanted you to think about people who were in those oppressed, depressed, who were victimized, who were tortured, belittled, considered less than human. If folks who are in those conditions can stand up for their freedom, how much more can you and I, when we are so fortunate, so blessed to be in a situation that doesn't look like that in most cases? So I want to encourage you to think about your situation, where you are. Yes, it's a difficult conversation. Yes, it's a difficult decision, to have with anyone, and because no one truly knows the answer about how you go about it. Only you know. Only you can decide. We can give you suggestions. We can offer our experience, our circumstance, but we can't pursue it for you. We can't pursue your dream for you. You have to want it bad enough, deep enough, and ask the question, why can't you pursue your dreams? Why can't you spend all of your time to learn your passion or follow your dreams? Why can't you? And who says you can't? Because the only voice you should be listening to is yourself. But again, let's come back to reality. Let's talk about reality. And the prohibitors, the obstacles, the challenges to us living our dreams are time and money. Most likely, money being the main driver. Because, let's face it, so many women out there are single parents, or single, or supporting parents. This is a reality of the situation, and there's no helpmate. So, freedom presents a challenge. That is a challenge to freedom. But the decision, the effort to decide to get into community, to study, to learn, to look at the opportunities that are out there, it all starts with the mind. It all starts with thinking without a box, without that box that was handed to you, that was given to you. It starts in the mindset to come out of that box, to move away from the box. Because remember, the box, it's meant to keep you in or out and hovering about. So we want to get out of the view of the box. You want to start defining your own path, thinking divergently, and knowing that it's okay to do so. Society will tell you, the messaging will tell you it's not. It will tell you you're crazy to think you can go out and be your own business owner as a woman, that you can be an entrepreneur as a woman. But that is messaging that is untrue. Your obstacles, time and money, and your own mind, because it starts with the mind. If you can adjust your mindset, set your mind-set, to what you want, you can start taking the next steps to figure out how to get there and how to overcome time and money obstacles. Zig Ziglar once said, money isn't everything, but it ranks right up there with oxygen. And that is true. That is real talk. But just like the right to live and breathe that you would fight for, you have to fight for your dreams, for your future, for your happiness, for your fulfillment, for your financial ability and stability. No matter the fact, the beautiful, wondrous fact that you are a woman. So, How true? Let's talk about how true. When God created the universe, God, I believe in God, you believe in what you believe in, created the universe, he built this world without rules. Mankind created rules that dictated our survival and our place on this earth. So think about, if you don't believe in God, think about your creation story or your whatever you believe in. And just that fact that as life evolved, it was man that started to dictate rules and regulations for survival. So I get it, for society, building, so on and so forth. Man dictated, created. So if man dictated, created, and women weren't involved in all of that, how much more now should we be a part of those decisions? And this century where we've seen, in the previous century where we've seen so much change in women's rights and equality movements, and we're still not there. We know that. We still know that our sisters, there's trafficking going around the world right now as we're having this candid conversation. We know that there are women in countries who are considered less than insects. We know that there are women being used and abused in all manner of forms, whether emotionally, physically, mentally. And it's not right. And it shouldn't be happening. So it's time, ladies, for us to decide, how do we want to live our life? And what lifestyle do we want to live? And Candid Conversations is all about being our sister's keeper. I am my sister's keeper. And that is a decision that we all must make. Because, money in the economy, most of the world lives in poor conditions, in middle class conditions, middle class society, or worse, absolutely nothing. We are the nurturers. We are the life givers, the life bearers. So how much more should that be in whatever we do, whatever environment we're in our career pursuits and our entrepreneurial suits? Women were blessed with servant hearts. We are servant leaders. So it's time to start considering this fact and our greatness with being given that gift. Because as we talk about in our Grace Under Pressure community for women service members, if you don't know about that, jump on Facebook, Doc V Next Steps Coach. You can find the group there, or just find Facebook. Grace Under Pressure for women service members. I think it's GUPWSM. We would love to have you come and join us. We talk about just the nature of being called to service and the tremendous sacrifices and the discrimination that goes along with that. It's the same for women in general, because we never started on a level playing field. And we've never truly believed until the last several centuries. Now, of course, there have been anomalies, but we've never started to organize and move in the direction in which we are truly saying, let freedom ring. That we decide to ring free in our lives in every aspect and own the fact that we are women. And we are wondrously and beautifully made. And we give life to creation, to human beings, to the men that made the very rules. So, because of this, because of just the condition of the societies and, the socioeconomic difference, the status of women in different countries, it's one of the reasons why we fear to pursue our dreams and aim for greatness. But ladies, today is a challenge to you to aim for your greatness, to pursue your dreams. Do not just simply be happy with the status quo. If you're unhappy on your path, do something about it. Start thinking about your pivot. And then you can start thinking about the next steps. And that's what I'm here to do for you, to do with you, not for you, with you. Whether it's in Candid Conversations, whether it's in the Next Steps for Women's group on Facebook, whether it's in my Next Steps for Vets membership portal and programming, our True Vision. It's time. If you want to stand up, if you want to start your own business, sis, I got you. We have you. Come check us out at definingpaths.online. Check out True Vision. Reach out to us. I'm happy to sit there and shoot the breeze and help you and discover what your pivot may be. It's all about being my sister's keeper. But however, today's world, the mindset, it's toxic. It's materialism. It's power. It's richness. It's winning the lottery. All of these things. And they are not all freedom. Yet, some people mistake it for freedom. But those are the very people that are unhappy when they get it. Our goal in Candid Conversations and in everything we do with Defining Paths is that you do not find empty freedom, because that is no freedom. That you find that you truly ring free in your soul, that you find that freedom of fulfillment and happiness, joy, peace that transcends all understanding. And not be one of those people who are unhappy. But you know, some of those folks, no one may have ever told them. No one may have ever asked them to think about what freedom looks like for them. And they were just following that path and just toting that box and pulling out the tools that they had in that box that was keeping them boxed in. So truly, it's not their fault. But when you know better, you do better. And this is the revelation I want to provide for you today. How you walk in your freedom. How you start to ring free, to truly accept and embrace life and living, free of material control or gain. Yes, money makes the world go round. We have to buy things, that sort of thing. It's an unfortunate fact, but true. But you can gain freedom. You can have money and wield it responsibly and with a servant's heart. Freedom comes from the power of the mind and soul, the power to dictate your own decisions, to be the decision maker. It's not a luxury item, ladies. Freedom is not a luxury item that can be bought. It's not materialistic. It's not tangible. You can't tote it around. So, who are you? Think about this in our closing minutes. Who are you? Who would you be if you had freedom, or in your picture of freedom? What would it look like? What would your character look like? Think about it. And think about the source that empowers you, that fuels your belief system. Because there are sources that empower and strengthen you, strengthen and activate your willpower. And there are sources that hinder. Find that source that is going to give you, or that's going to reignite your willpower, that's going to give you strength to step out in faith, to step into your greatness. Because ladies, you are capable. You are more than conquerors. And I'm going to continue to say, you are the diamond in the rough. And in the rough because we've endured so much. We've endured so much. We have faced pain point after pain point. Many of us have buried it. I'm a witness. I have personally buried things so deeply. Until recently, I just gained freedom and in conversation with my companion, I didn't even realize some of the things that I had buried, that I had hidden, that I had never shared with anyone. But know, once you have that revelation, that you are wonderfully and beautifully made, that you are perfect in your imperfection of perfection as a woman. I want you to pursue those dreams, pursue those passions, get in community. Come and join us on the Defining Paths community on Facebook. You know, if you're a business owner and you're interested in, or if you're interested in starting a business, if you're looking to scale, right now, actually this week, we're in a tremendous Make It Rain, the Legacy event. It's a free 1.5 hour session on Zoom. Come and join us. You can find the registration on my Doc V Next Steps coach, any of my social media platforms. Come and join us, or go to thepivotmaestro.com and you can find it there. Come and join us. Start getting your mind right. Your heart will follow. And then the rest, it'll just all snowball. And then we are there to support you. We have your back. At Defining Paths, I have your back. And continue to come to Candid Conversations with Doc V. I hope you found nuggets in this episode. Go back and listen to all the episodes and see how it's pieced together. And begin to move toward your freedom, ladies. The pivot for next week, we're going to talk about self-discipline in freedom. Yeah, it might sound like an oxymoron, but it's not. Self-discipline in freedom. And remember to continue to let freedom ring in your life. Think about how today's message applies to your life. Think about how you want to move forward. Think about your passions, your purpose. And come join us again, Make It Rain. All the week, this week, we started tonight, 6 to 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. Come and join us where we talk about the mind-body-soul connection as it's tied to and fuels our ability to pursue passion and purpose and create our businesses to make it rain financially and to be world changers, mission essential world changers. Also, please visit definingpathsonline.online. Check out our homepage there and reach out anytime. And ladies, until next week, what is our mantra? Strong is the new sexy. So believe it, ladies. Be strong in mind, body, and soul. Define your path and love the skin you're in. I am Doc V, the Pivot Maestro, and always your corner woman. I'm my sister's keeper, and I hope you will be too. I will see you next week.